Okay, Rabbi, yesterday we learned about the fact that Mashiach doesn't come instantly. Rather, it's a gradual process, which means that Am Yisrael have to do their part. And we see that in the Chumash as well, in many places. Am Yisrael have to do their part. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu brings us to the ocean, he doesn't say that I'll perform the miracle. You need to actually go ahead and make the step into the ocean and try to pass it while the ocean is there. And then, Ma titzak elai, it's not time to pray. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't get involved until we do the first step. Well, we see this in many places, and that is what the Gdolim we mentioned in the last couple of days are saying. Now, on that very topic, I want to speak about something that I wrote on my first sefer, Shaf V'Yativ. I wrote about the Mashiach. Does Mashiach, the concept of Mashiach that we spoke about yesterday, do we have a chiyuv, an obligation to believe that Mashiach would come today? Or we have the obligation to think and to believe that Mashiach will eventually come? What is the obligation? Is the obligation I have to believe that today Mashiach is coming, and if not, then it's a lack in emunah? Or that's not the emunah that I need to have. The emunah that I need to have is that Mashiach will come eventually. Will it come today? Maybe yes, maybe no. But eventually it will come. That is the obligation. That is one of the Yud Gimel Ikarim that the Rambam brings out. From the Lashon that the Rambam brings, that Achakelo bechol yom sheyavo, it sounds more like I have to believe that Mashiach should come today. Bechol yom, every day I have to believe that today he will come. But is that really the way it is? So let's touch upon that, which is very, very important. Yesod in emunah. You know that, as I mentioned, we say every day in the end of the tefillah, הרי אני מאמין באמונה שלמה ב13 עיקרים של התורה הקדושה. You have to believe those ikarim. It's so fundamental that Rav Chaim Brisker said that a person that doesn't believe in one of them, even though, that's pashut, if one doesn't believe in one of them, is considered a kofel. But moreover, he said that even if a person by mistake doesn't believe it, he never heard of it, the Tinok Shenishba, he grew up in Russia, he never heard about one of those ikarim, he doesn't know about it, therefore he doesn't believe in it. Is he considered a kofel? So it's known the Lashon that he used to say that Nebach apikores is oich apikores. That's in Yiddish. What does it mean? Even a Nebach apikores is apikores is a chazit apikores. It's not his fault. It's not it's on default. It's not it's not that he learned and he's doing the opposite. It's beshogeg. It's not intentional. Such a apikores, you should give him a pass. Says Reb Chaim, no. It's also an apikores. And therefore, we need to know and to understand those Yud Gimel Ikarim. So one of the Ikarim over here is She'avo HaMashiach. What is the emunah that She'avo HaMashiach? Rav Moshe Feinstein says, Elashon, that really when you read it, it seems like you have to believe that today the Mashiach will come. And this is the Lashon. I'm reading you what he writes in the Igot Moshe Or Chaim Chelekei Siman Chet Benevuat Malachi. We mentioned this yesterday a few times. Asher pitom yavo elecha lo adon Hashem mevakshim. Asher atem mevakshim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send the Mashiach right away, suddenly. What does that mean? Asher yesh lefaresh. ואף דליקה רמז, הרי עברו כל הקיצים שאמרו אף גדולי עולם. All the גדולי עולם gave certain timing that when Mashiach might come. All those times have passed already. We passed all those times. ואם כן, בכל יום שיבוא ופתאום. Therefore, any day, even today, that it could come, that's considered suddenly. פתאום, instantly. That's considered פתאום because we passed all those times. שלכן מצד אמונתנו התאורה יכול לבוא בכל רגע ורגע. We have to believe that it might come any minute. לזה משמע שעיקר שעיקר חיוב לצפות יותר מחשיבות ספק. It's not like I have a doubt, maybe it'll come, maybe not. No, it needs to be like a vadai, a certain belief that Mashiach can come and will come today. And he continues and says again and again those principles. He says, החיוב בכל יום ויום לצפות כאין ודאי שיבוא היום. I have to believe like a certain that he will come today. ואם כן הרי יש לנו לצפות כאין ודאי שיבנה בכל שעה, שיבנה בכל שעה, that the בית המקדש would be built any moment. So he's emphasizing this over and over again, that I have to believe that the Mashiach will come certainly today. Something like that. This is repeated also in the Brisker Rav, Rav Yitzchak Zev Soloveitchik, and he says the following, I'm reading, חיוב האמונה בביאת המשיח הוא לא רק שיבוא אי פעם. We don't believe that the Mashiach will come eventually. No, that's not the belief, that's not the אמונה, that's not one of the עיקרים, that eventually Mashiach will come. No, אלא חיוב הוא לחכות לביאתו. I have to wait for him. והיינו, what does it mean I have to wait for him? להאמין שהנה ממש היום הזה הוא בא. Today is coming. That is the belief, that is the אמונה in the Mashiach. אבל אם מאמין בביאתו באופן כללי, if I just generally believe that Mashiach will come, אך אינו מצפה לביאתו בכל יום, but I don't wait for it every day, חסר לו באמונתו. You are missing in the אמונה. You're not complete מאמין. You are lacking this עיקר. And therefore, when they asked him, what about the fact that Eliyahu HaNavi will come before the Mashiach? 4 days before Mashiach comes, Eliyahu HaNavi will come to announce. So how could I believe that Mashiach will come today? The Eliyahu HaNavi didn't come to announce yet. And he answered that Eliyahu HaNavi will come. When he comes, he'll answer this question as well. We don't have to understand every question about the Mashiach. When he'll come, we'll see. But you see that we have two Gdolim that seem to say that Mashiach should come today, and that is the emunah, that I go to work. When I go to work today, I should go with belief and with the emunah and with the tzipiyah that Mashiach is coming today. Therefore, some Gdolim always had with them a suit that they packed and everything was ready. Just when the Mashiach will come, when the announcement will come, right away they will put the suit and go to greet the Mashiach. Hafetz Chaim was like that. But if we take a look in other sources, it doesn't say that. And let's just understand what the emunah that we read before, what is he really saying? So there's a difference between the reading of the Yud Gimel Ikarim that the Sfaradim read and those of the Ashkenazim and the Hasidim. By the Sfaradim, we say in the end of the Tefillah, הרי אני מאמין באמונה שלמה ב13 עיקרים של התורה הקדושה, and then I say what they are, שהקדוש ברוך הוא מצוי המשגיח, והוא אחד, ואין לו גוף, ואין לו דמות הגוף, and one of them is that שיבוא מלך המשיח. He doesn't say over here that I have to believe שיבוא בכל יום, I have to believe that any day he will come. So therefore, the way it sounds like is, all I have to do is not mityaesh from the Mashiach. I should have still the hope and the belief that the Mashiach eventually will come, and I'm not allowed to give up on that emunah. That's what it's saying over here. But by Ashkenazim, it doesn't say like that. By Ashkenazim, the Lashon is very different. When they read the following. They say, אני מאמין באמונה שלמה בביאת המשיח. I believe in the coming of the Mashiach. ואף על פי שיתמהמה, even though he's delayed, עם כל זה אחכה לו בכל יום שיבוא. Still, I wait for him every day that he would come. It sounds like I have to believe that he'll come today. Every day I have to believe that he'll come today. But that's a wrong reading. The reading over here, the correct reading is that אף על פי שיתמהמה, with a yud, not שיתמהמה, not even though he is delayed. If it would be with a hey, שיתמהמה, it would mean that even though he's delayed. Yitma'ameh means even though he will be delayed. It's in the future. Even though he will be delayed, I should believe every day that he will come. I mean, in other words, the every day, b'chol yom she'avo, doesn't go on that I believe that today he will come. It means that every day I have to believe that eventually he will come. That's what it says in the Navi. This comes from the Navi Habakkuk. It says, Ki od chazon lamoed. We should have a hope that it will happen. Chazon lamoed. Vayapeach laketz velo yechazev. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to bring the Mashiach, and he would not be mechazev. Im itma'amea, if the Mashiach will be delayed, chakelo, still wait for him. כי בו יבוא לא יאחר. He will come eventually. He would not be late. He will come eventually. So you see again, it's the same idea, same lashon. Yitma'ameh is for the future. And it says over here that you should wait for him. He won't be late. In other words, if he's coming today, you don't have to say lo ya'acher. He won't be late. Wait for him in the future. He will still come. Ki ot chazon lamoed, which means it's going to happen in the future. It doesn't happen today. If the belief should have been that you have to know that he will come today, you have to walk around thinking, believing, and acting like he comes today, you would have to, the lashon would not be correct. Ki ot chazon lamoed, it will happen in the future. Don't worry. But rather it would be walk around today, and our every way that we act should have been very different. A person that really believes that Mashiach is coming today, he wouldn't go to work, and he wouldn't do a lot of things that he does during the day because Mashiach is coming today. Why should I go to work? It's a waste of time. It's also wrong to do. You be prepared lechol hapachot the way we prepare for Yom Tov, for Erev Yom Tov, Erev Shabbat. The way we prepare for Erev Yom Kippur, for Yom Kippur. At least it would be that. So rather, Olam ki minago noeg. Why is that? Because eventually it will come. Eventually it would come. Yesterday we said on this pasuk that pitom yavo lechalo adon asher lo atem mechakim. We said a perush from Rav Teichtor. We said that it means that there's two types of Mashiach coming. It could happen one of the two, either beita or achishena. Either he will come in the right time, or Kadosh Baruch Hu will rush the Mashiach. If Kadosh Baruch Hu rushes the Mashiach, it means that Am Yisrael is in a very elevated stage. In that case, that Am Yisrael are in a very, very elevated stage, that will happen suddenly. Pitom yavo Adon elechalo. But if it doesn't come because of that, because Am Yisrael are not there, they're still struggling with a lot of averot. Therefore, there's going to be an end of time, sof haketz. That will be ba'ita, at the right time. That will not happen pitom. This pasuk seems to indicate that Mashiach will come suddenly only if Am Yisrael will grant achishena quickly, right away. That is what it says. But the way we explained it over here, Moshe Feinstein gives a different understanding. If you paid attention, it's very, very different from what we explained yesterday. But Moshe Feinstein said over here that the nevuah asher pitom yavo elecha lo adon asher atem mevakshim means to say that since kalu kol hakitzim, since we are already in the end of time, and therefore Mashiach should come because we already passed all the nevuot. If you take a look at the nevuot in Yechezkel and other nevuot, that there will be a gathering of all the kibbutz galuyot, of all the exiles to Eretz Israel, and the land will be built and start flourishing again and bringing fruits. That's midrashim and nevuot. So that is kalu kol hakitzim. So Moshe Feinstein explains this differently, that the pasuk of asher pitom yavo doesn't mean that it's achishena, but rather beita. It's a time of what will happen eventually. There's many different reayot that I wrote over here on the Sefer that you'll see that Mashiach, that the belief in the Mashiach is not that he will come today. He could come today, but that's not the obligation to believe that the Mashiach will come today, but rather that he would come eventually. Some of the reayot that we have in a couple of minutes that we have left is that it says that when Rabbi Akiva saw Bar Kochva, he said Bar Kochva is the Mashiach. So the Yerushalmi says that his friends, Rabbi Akiva's friends, the other rabbis, told him, Ya'alu asavim alechecha v'adain en ben David ba, which means way after you will die, Rabbi Akiva, and still Mashiach won't come. It would take a long time from then. You see that if the belief would be that you have to know Mashiach is coming today, what are they saying? You're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to say that Mashiach will come in a long time from now. That's not allowed to be said. Gemara in Rosh Hashanah Yud Aleph says, "Benisan nig'alu, benisan atidin leigael." In the Mechilta of Rabbi Ishmael, it says, "Latid lavo en nigalim ela betishrei," which means when is the month that Mashiach will come? Either Nisan or Tishrei. If I have to believe in a month of Iyar, that Mashiach is coming today, how is this going to fit what Chazal said, that Benisan nigalu, Benisan atidim ligael? It doesn't work like that. The Gemara says in Sanhedrin Tzadik Zayin, Rabbi Eliezer אומר, אם ישראל עושים תשובה, ניגלים, ואם לאו, אין ניגלים. זה תלוי בתשובה, אין ישראל ניגלים, אלא בתשובה. What does that mean? If Am Israel still do teshuvah, so therefore, how do I believe that Mashiach will come today? Rather, it means that I have to still hold the belief that Mashiach eventually will come. The Gemara says that a person that makes a neder, the Gemara says a person that makes a neder that I will not eat meat or drink wine in the day that Mashiach will come. So therefore, he's not allowed to drink wine and eat meat any day in a week. But Shabbat and Yom Tov is allowed to eat wine, he's allowed to eat meat and drink wine. Why is that? Because the Gemara says Mashiach doesn't come on Shabbat and Yom Tov. So what, on Shabbat and Yom Tov, this emunah, that Mashiach will come today, doesn't apply? Of course, it means that I'm not allowed to be mityaesh, to give up on the belief of the Mashiach.